Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Couples Coverage. I'm your host, Nicholas Moriano, joined by my beautiful and amazing fiance, Stephanie Bonce. It's been a while.
It's been a very, very long time, guys.
December 12th, 2004, I think was the last upload. So it's been 159 days exactly from the day that we're recording.
He didn't just do that calculation in his head. We looked this up.
Oh, no, I always go into the date calculator to find the time difference. But you could see it's a new backdrop, new setting, a lot of newness going on right now.
Yeah, this is taking me a little bit to adjust because I don't know, I feel like I look so pale compared to you. Why are you tan though, actually?
Because I've been getting some color.
We've had some nice days since then, but actually we're literally recording on like the rainiest, coldest day we've had in a while.
Yeah, it's been we're talking about the weather. That's like
I'm just saying.
Well, it has been crazy raining, but yeah, it's I've gotten some sun. That's it. And I usually am darker than you.
Yeah, I know. This is just kind of throwing me off a little bit. I'm going to try not to look at myself on the, what is it called? Viewfinder?
I'm
going to try to look
camera thingy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe that's why it's throwing me off, because I can see myself and I can see how pale I look next to you. But anyways, it is nice to be back. It's been a very long time. I wasn't nervous until you hit record, and now I'm like, I'm shy.
Are you nervous because of me, or are you nervous because we haven't done this in a while?
I think a little bit of both. Like
I'm nervous because of me.
Well, because I feel like sometimes you can snap into it because it's kind of like what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obviously a little bit different than when we're just talking to each other like normally, obviously.
Sure, yeah.
But maybe, yeah, just a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, but we're here, we're recording. It's been a while, and I know that I have you gotten any messages from people saying like, hey, are you guys still doing couples coverage
in person, and not necessarily like messages?
I've gotten a couple messages.
Really?
Yeah, we're like, hey, is the podcast coming back? And I told them yes.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
I don't know why I didn't, but I've gotten a couple messages.
Guys, this is a typical man thing where it's like a key detail or key fact or key whatever
detail.
just gets left out.
I mean, like, hey, are you
that would have made
this?
Me feel nice to know. I would have been like, come on, we need to get this going again.
Well, we're doing it. It's just 159 days later or whatever it was, the exact count. But yeah, I've gotten a couple messages here and there just from DMs like, hey, are you guys bringing back couples coverage? And I've always said yes.
That is so nice.
I just didn't know exactly when or like how we're going to do it, but here we are.
We're here. I'm proud of us. I feel like for it being a completely new setup, I feel like we got like right back into it. I thought I wasn't going to remember how to set up the mics and all this stuff. Because sometimes when we would miss like 2 weeks, I was like, what do we do? But now it's been 4 months and I feel like we were like figuring it out right away.
Yeah, you'll notice that the couples coverage sign is not behind us. We have it. It's literally just off camera here. But
it's coming back.
We just need to find the remote, turn it on. So once we find that, then I think it'll be perfectly right in back of us. So
you know what though? Okay, this kind of does make me miss our setup that we had before, because we put a lot of work into that.
The little arch it was like, what was it? Just wallpaper?
Yeah, the wallpaper, but I had to cut it, remember, and shape it, and we did that together. And setting it up, but this is obviously like already here, but setting it up felt kind of like, well, we did this like from scratch.
And didn't we like use string and a pencil to get like the perfect
roundness to it
at the top of it. So, so we put some work into that.
Yeah, we did.
But we'll get into why we're obviously not the same setup and things like that.
So a lot has changed since the last time we've recorded. We were not expecting to be gone for this long, but we've just had a ton of life changes and big things, small things, but overall just we're kind of feeling like things are stable now and we're feeling a little bit more adjusted. So I don't know, it kind of just feels like a good time to bring it back. We've been missing it, honestly. I feel like even lately, sometimes for work, I listen to our podcasts. I was telling you the other day, I was listening to it and I was like, dang, I really miss just doing it and like sharing stories. And I feel like we crack me up, but obviously I'm very biased.
Well, I also too, like when I went back and even like the old thumbnails, because you always do a great job with those, and just seeing the changes from episode 1 to 41, and now this being 42, like you can just see how we look, how we change. I mean, I go through like different phases every few weeks, but it's nice that now we can add another one to the little step here.
But yeah, okay, so a lot has changed. Should we just get into where are we? First of all, we are recording from my parents' house.
Yeah.
So that's honestly the biggest life update that we have, is that we've moved. We literally moved, and we're both not living together, guys.
Yeah, not living together, but we live 10 minutes apart from each other.
Yeah, it sounds more dramatic than it
not
is.
Living together, but
wait, but hold on, but that is really a drastic change, going from living together and feeling like we're taking a big step in our relationship to now not living together. And I feel like normally you would think like it's a step back, but to me it doesn't feel that way. Like to me it feels like a lot of stuff has happened that has made us so much stronger. And like you said, you're literally like 10 minutes away. So I feel like now whenever we see each other, it's all like very intentional again. Honestly, I feel like it's been easy to adjust, I feel like.
You know, it reminds me a lot of when we were dating initially.
Yeah.
Right? When I would pick you up at your house and, you know, take you on the date or whatever we were doing. So it kind of feels like we're back into that like early stages of like how I would, you know, come see you, come pick you up, things like that. So it has been nice. Like there have definitely been a bunch of positives with this, and you know, overall, I mean, like I was saying too, it wasn't a huge change moving back home, because I mean, we've lived, you know, our respective houses our entire lives. Well, obviously we had a couple of moves in between that, but it didn't feel like it was a huge transition, and like, oh, I'm back here. Here's my room again. It's yes, you know, same old.
Yeah. You're right. It's like when we first moved, I think it took me like a little bit to adjust, because I mean, we were gone for like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I think I'm still kind of adjusting to the area that we're in. Like we had like our little routines there and our places that we like to go. And I think that's kind of been the biggest thing that I've needed to adjust to. Like now everything feels so far away from me. But in terms of like being back home with family and stuff, like it's so familiar, and it's like, it's been nice.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I mean, that's also something that, you know, when we were living in our apartment in Arlington Heights, like we didn't see our families as consistently as we obviously are now. Like every single day I see, you know, my parents. Like, that's way different than it would be, you know, when we were back at our own place. Yeah. And that's something that, you know, before you move on your own, I don't know if I took it for granted or whatever it was, but it's just nice, you know, getting to see them every day. Like, and I know you could speak to, you know, the same thing here with your parents.
Yeah. Like I think I was coming over just every Sunday for the most part. So
weekends.
Yeah,
mostly.
Just weekends. So now it's been really nice. And like, we're both so lucky to have such good relationship with our parents and our family that it's not like, oh my gosh, we couldn't wait to get out of here when we first moved, you know, like, I don't know. I'm glad that we can say that that's our situation that we're in, though. Like, it's not like we hate being home or like,
no, not at all.
But I do feel like we need to get into like the why. Like, obviously, like what happened? Why did we move? Why are we back here? I feel like we just need to talk about it.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because I literally got a comment today on my most recent
here we go
Bears
again.
video.
Another detail left out. No, I'm kidding.
No, this one. So the comment was, why'd you leave CHGO? That was literally today. And well, and I just put like this emoji, and I'm like, I didn't leave. So what happened was this was...
Wait, I feel like, dang, you're like diving in. Okay.
You wanted to let... am I going too far ahead
No,
here?
you're good. Okay, I feel like we need to go back a little bit.
Okay.
We need to go back to December. So, guys, we had a very rough start to the year. But it goes back a little bit further than that into December. So Okay, now you can take it away.
Okay, yes.
I just wanted to like timeline. Okay, where are we in the timeline? This is back in December.
Back in December, this would be 14 days after my 30th birthday. And I was going to go cover a game in Minnesota for, Bears Vikings Monday Night Football. I got there by myself. The company had told me, hey, we're not going to send you. And I thought that was weird. So I still found it upon myself to go out there, cover the game. You know what? I didn't even have a hotel, so I just stayed in the airport because it was a Monday night game. I got back done covering the game super late, got back to Chicagoland area. 2 days later, after that game, I get like a notification from our GM there at the time saying, hey, there's a call at 10 or whatever time it was. I was at the gym at the time getting ready to go to House Hall for work like I always do. On this call, I get it's not just me, it's a bunch of other employees.
Wow, you're giving them the juice here.
I'm giving you all the juice because I feel like I still get these questions like, what happened? Why are you not there anymore? Well, I was let go. That's as simple as that. Basically, the company was going in a different direction. My role wasn't a part of the content plan moving forward, and so they basically eliminated my position just right then and there. No heads up, no, hey, this is going to be happening, just right then and there. And so, I mean, just full transparency, like, I mean, it was a lot at the time. So I remember calling my dad in the parking lot. I'm emotional. And I still go to House Hall. I still go cover Bears practice like I normally would. And I see that some of my other colleagues that were also there who had also got let go put out statements. And I was thinking, like, I'm going to do this. And this is where I kind of wish I would have told you first before doing this. But I was there at House Hall, kind of covered the day, couldn't really focus all too much. But fast forward, I write a statement, boom, I got let go. And then I came back to the apartment and you saw me. And,
yeah.
And I wish I would have told you first before doing that. But
I mean, luckily,
yeah.
I don't really keep up with like, yeah, you know what? I think in hindsight, it would have been nice. Mm-hmm. But also, I'm not on, what was it, like Twitter,
yeah.
Whatever. So like, there is no way I would have seen that before. But also knowing that was out there before I knew, kind of like, but it was not about me. So literally, It is what it is at this point. But yeah, you came home and I feel like it took you a while to tell me, like, this is obviously very big news to share with somebody. And also while you're probably trying to process it as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was rough. Like, not gonna lie, it was rough.
Yeah, no, it was
super
really rough,
super unexpected.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, blindsight. I was pissed. Yeah, just a bunch of emotion as anybody would naturally feel if that, it happened to you, or if you can relate with that. But, then, the next couple of months, it was kind of me trying to find a very similar position. And that's the thing. Like, I've learned that it's not easy. Like what I was doing is such a niche role, and it's such a unique and awesome opportunity. Great job, but there's not a lot of those available. So, I've gotten a bunch of interviews with different companies, things like that, but, it just hasn't kind of quite worked out. But I've still been able to kind of do my thing in the meantime, covering Bears, have a different kind of, opportunity right now. But yeah, I mean, that's why. I mean, that's a part of the reason why our lease was also coming up from our apartment too.
Yeah, so I literally wrote this down.
Yeah.
So that happened in December, literally 2 weeks after your birthday.
Yep.
After your big 30th. Happy birthday to you.
Ooh.
1 week before Christmas.
Yeah, exactly a week before Christmas. Great news.
So, yeah. 2 months before our lease ended.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
And of course, when this all happens too, like, we're in the midst of like planning a wedding too, like, yeah, still all that's going on.
So I feel like you brushed over a little bit, but like, obviously when you get let go from a job, there's always so many emotions that come with it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, one, it's unexpected, but also I feel like in this case, it's a little bit unique because you helped build this company. So there's a lot of emotions, a lot of anger that like if I truly still think about it now, and I'm sure you do too, like it's been like 4 or 5 months at this point. No, 5 months.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, December.
Almost 6 months. So just knowing that you put so much time into growing something and like being a part of like just the core group that helped really build this, I feel like there just comes like an extra level of like hurt, frustration, anger. And I do feel like I don't know, it kind of like, it still really gets me mad and emotional. I really think about it. But, oh my gosh, am I gonna cry? No, I'm not. Okay.
No, I mean, I obviously, every time you talk about it, you do say that like you still get mad at it, 5
because
months
there's a
from
lot
now.
of details that if only you guys knew. There's a lot of stuff that happened the way it was done. Some of the things that like only we know. It's honestly like makes it very hard to think about it in like like it happens type of way, because there's a lot that goes into it, guys, that like I don't know, I don't even know if we're allowed to share or if we want to share, but it's messed up. Like it is so messed up.
No, it is. And I mean, look, I couldn't allow myself to stay mad for that long with it, because again, I was trying to find new jobs, new opportunities, and like kind of move on from it. And if I just kind of kept lingering on what had happened, it didn't help me. It didn't help me be productive to kind of go into new opportunities, new interviews and things like that with a clear head. But yeah, like I think it let go when you know that you were definitely a part of the solution, where you were one of the better employees. It's like,
oh my gosh. Okay, hold on.
It's just like it is it's like it doesn't matter how good you are at your job or what value you bring, you could still be blindsided. And so that's what I mean, kind of learning the business too. That's what sucks about it.
Yeah, and it just sucks that we have, like, I feel like it's made us approach things a lot differently. And I think when this opportunity came, it seemed like such a cool thing that you didn't really think this would ever even happen. So you don't do things to protect yourself, or you kind of wish you could go back a little bit and do things kind of differently. So that part kind of sucks a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But
it's a learning opportunity.
It's
now,
a learning,
and,
yeah. But
what I'm doing now, like I'm taking everything that I've learned and kind of doing my own thing, and which has been nice. You've kind of helped me too with like certain things that I'm doing on my own, like still trying to be a part of Bears coverage, but also, like I said, I am doing some other things too, just to get that money. You got to do that too as well. So it's like it's made me a lot more independent, but still looking for that next opportunity. So
yeah, and I just want to say, I feel like obviously this is not a unique experience. Like a lot of people go through this.
True.
But I want to say that like you've carried yourself like so good. Like I'm proud of you and like how you've carried yourself through all of this, because you aren't someone who lets things bring you down for too long. Like obviously we went through our waves of like emotions and adjusting periods and stuff, but you have always continued to like look forward and just keeping an eye out for like the next right opportunity, because there has been opportunities, but like we want to wait for like the right one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the thing too. Just you got to know your own value. You got to know what you want, and kind of stick to it in a little bit. So not just jump for the next whatever it may be. It has to be right. So once that happens, I'll be prepared to take advantage of that opportunity.
Yes. So, okay, that was kind of like one of the bigger reasons too why we moved, was because again, this happened like 2 months before our lease was up. And when something like this happens, like you don't really know how long you're going to have to like wait to come into like the next thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
so,
that was honestly, I remember early on, I'm like, oh, this is going to last, I don't know, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I remember being like that, like, oh, this is going to be fine. I know I'm good at this. I know if there's other opportunities, I can get something. But yeah, I've definitely learned that that's not the case.
So yeah, just kind of like not knowing how long things would take, it just felt like the smarter move to like not resign something, because again, we're in the middle of like planning a wedding at this point, and we just want to make sure that we are set up for like the wedding and getting a house.
Yep.
And doing all the things that we want to do and that we have planned, and that we just kind of like stay on track with all our goals. And also like moving is so stressful. So I don't know. It kind of just made the most sense to come back.
Yeah, and again, it does help when you have parents and family members that are super supportive and all for it, and looking out for us. So we do have that supportive background, so it makes it a lot easier to move back and to save and to just put ourselves in the right position. When we do want to buy a house, when we want to put enough money for the wedding that we want to have. So it does help when you have those supportive pieces in place to do that type of thing.
Also, my dad in January was also supposed to get a major surgery. So that was another thing. I just wanted to be home, be able to help out, like post surgery, before surgery, like after surgery and all that stuff. So that was another reason, was like I just wanted to be home to help out as much as I could, because I'm the only one that works from home. So I just wanted to be like more available to help out with anything that might be needed. But that's also like another big thing that has made it like this year kind of rough, is because that surgery that was supposed to be end of January got canceled like 2 or 3 days before it was supposed to happen. And it's been a very long process, but finally we have something scheduled again for next month. So that's been part of like our good news, and where I feel like things are starting to turn around, because honestly, I feel like there's been a lot more like positive things happening now, and which is why, like we mentioned, it just feels like we're a little bit more stable, have a lot more like mental clarity. I was going through it. Like, honestly, I feel like this is like,
it was a lot.
It was a very hard start to the year. Like, I don't know about you, but I can say this is probably like the hardest 4 or 5 months that I've had.
Yeah. And I remember we've had conversations before, not on the podcast, but it's like, I haven't had to have a lot of, I don't know, adversity in my life, to be completely honest. Like, I've worked hard and everything, but there hasn't been like these big things that I've had to deal with. Like, this was definitely the hardest thing, losing the job that I labeled as like my dream job, and trying to transition, trying to, still provide and like have, a steady revenue, things like that. So it was tough. Like, this was easily the toughest like 4 or 5 months that I had to deal with. But now, like you said, things are like moving definitely in a positive direction, and
so just good vibes, guys.
Yeah, just good vibes. But no, it has honestly been good vibes, because like you said, your dad's getting his surgery scheduled later in the year. Like, I have a stable
later in the month. Next month.
later in the month. Like I said, I found something that I can still do like the Bears things that I want to do. We're still planning our wedding. They're looking like they're back on track, and it's like 4 or 5 months ago, that was not the case. Yeah.
Dark, gloomy days.
Dark days. But yeah, no, it feels good. It feels good that we get to, talk about this openly too.
Yeah. But this is all part of it. This is why I know we said, like, you would think living, apart again would be like hard and be one of the things that, it's just so hard. Like, but I feel like realistically, this has all made us stronger. Everything that we've been through in the past couple of months has made us a lot stronger, a lot more like united. Like, it makes me like so grateful to have you. I just feel like we're a good team.
We're a good team. We back each other up and support each other when we're down. And I think we've worked on our communication too, with like not, because we don't see each other like every single day, but we're always texting, things like that, calling each other.
We call each other like 5 times a day.
I know. I'm constantly calling you. I'm constantly calling. And like, that wasn't obviously, when we were living together, it's not like we were doing that all the time, because we would see each other every single day. But it's been cold.
I'm like cold.
But no, it has been really nice. Like, we're really fortunate to have like a really smooth transition where, like I said, things are things are turning out in a positive way.
Yes. I feel like that's kind of where I want to leave some like the harder topics, and I want to go back into like some more of like the positive things that have been going on.
Since it's been 159 days since we've last.
It hasn't been all bad, guys.
No, it hasn't. And even in between that time where I'm still looking for that job and things like that, like we've done a lot of cool things together.
Yeah. So, where do we want to start there?
Do we go with like what's happened first, like chronologically, or just kind of the highlights of what has happened since?
We can just go in like some of the highlights. Okay, so we've talked about like our wedding stuff, which has been very exciting for us. We were able to go down and do like a food tasting, which is so fun. I don't know. I just was so excited to do that part of wedding planning. I honestly think we did it really early because we're still technically a year out. A little less than a year at this point. But
yeah, a little less than a year.
Almost a year out. And I feel like we did it pretty early, but it was one of those things where it's just exciting to do. We want to do it.
It was cool too. I got to bring my mom for one of the food tastings that we had.
Yeah.
In North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina.
So we got a chance to, try some really good food and, experience what, everything that comes with a food tasting and try just different foods, appetizers, things like that. So I think we have our one.
We have our one.
Just got to sign that contract and be good to go.
Yeah.
But also in that same weekend,
we also were able to do an engagement shoot, which is so fun. We've never gotten we've never gotten professional pictures taken, but technically, like when you proposed, our photographer came and did like a little mini session with us. So I guess that counts, but like a full like hour and a half session we've never done. So that was honestly really fun.
It also helped too that we had an awesome photographer, and like
we have an awesome photographer.
Still have. She'll be shooting the wedding too, but like everywhere, and we had our engagement shoot in South Carolina. We're getting married in North Carolina, but everywhere you go in South Carolina, when we were in Charleston, like you just stop and take a picture. It was anywhere with the historic buildings and just how the town is laid out. They got the brick roads down certain aisles and things like that, or alleyways, I should say. Like everything is just super photogenic. So you just put us in there, and we looked good that day. And well, we looked especially good that day, I should say. And it was a fun experience.
Yeah, we did like a downtown shoot. So yeah, we just walked around downtown, took some pictures. She was really good at like directing us and stuff. I always get so nervous when I don't know what the process is gonna be, because I was thinking we would just go and like pose and do whatever. But I'm glad she directed us and like pointed us in the right direction. Okay, so we did that. What else did we do? We have our save the dates coming.
I mean, literally what, in like 2 days?
2 days. So we get to send those out. What else? Oh, I've gone dress shopping since then.
Yes, yeah.
I have not found the one yet, but that has also been really fun to do.
Yeah, going with, I mean, you brought my mom for one of the times that you went, and you got to go with your sisters, your mom. So that's
something
cool
that
experience.
I've never really like thought about, but in like growing up, I used to watch shows, right? And like you bring like your main people, and then for me, I brought everyone that I brought like our moms, both our moms, my sisters, and my maid of honor. But I feel bad having to like make people go with me again and again and again until I find the one. So since then, like I've gone a couple more times and I've just taken my mom and sisters. But it would be nice to have everyone there again when I find the one, but you just never know when it's going to happen. So
you got more dress shopping, more dress fittings to do.
Yeah. Is that something you're excited for? Not so much.
What, for me to...
Yeah, like find your suit and stuff?
Oh, I mean, it's going to be a one and done type of thing. So, I mean, I guess it'll be... I don't know. It's if, like, there's been opportunities where I've gone and not all the groomsmen are there, where you kind of go individually. So I don't even know. I haven't even done any planning in terms of, like...
what you're going to wear.
What I'm going to wear, or even doing like I don't know what I'm going to do for my groomsmen, so I haven't even given it really much thought, which I should, because
the heck,
we're a little less than a year out, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. The last thing I have on here, another positive.
Oh yeah.
Nick wanted us to mention that he saved my life, because that is a positive.
I did. We were actually on this very couch where I saved your life. This happened. So these are delicious. Unreal. This is you got the dark chocolate peanut gems.
They're like M&Ms, but they're dairy free. This is why we like
they're really
so
good. If you haven't had them, they're delicious, but also probably, I guess in your case, deadly. So we were just sitting on this couch, and I want to say, I don't know, what we were watching, Secret Millionaire or something on Netflix, which fun show. But we crack open a bag of these, tear it open, and out of nowhere, what, you put just one or two?
So this is what happened.
Yeah. I don't even, yeah, what happened?
What that? No,
I know I saved you.
Okay.
What happened?
Basically, I think I had two, I had two in my mouth. And I don't know why or how this even happened, but literally one, just went whoop, back of my throat. And I felt it go down, and I was sitting here. He's literally watching TV.
I'm just watching TV, just chilling.
He's watching TV, and I didn't panic at first. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell you I just swallowed one whole. I was like, let me wait for this to go down so I can talk. The next thing I know, it doesn't keep going. It gets stuck. And I still didn't fully panic, but I had my wallet right here in front of me. So I took a sip of the wallet thinking, okay, I'm going to help it go down. He's still watching TV completely clueless. And then took a sip, and the water had nowhere to go because the freaking thing is stuck in my throat. So I spit up all the water that I had just chugged. And I stood up. I think I didn't even put my wallet down. That's when you notice something was wrong, because my wallet felt like the movies where the glass, the cup falls and the water spills. That's how it felt. Right?
Yeah, I get you.
My giant wallet clanked on the ground, and I stood up, and then I started to panic. And I think your body just goes into survival mode technically, because you start to produce all these sounds that you're like, what? Where is this coming from?
What did you say?
Well, he stood up and he's like, babe, and he was patting me like this. And then I started to panic 100%, because I'm like, these pats are not going to get it out of me. I don't think you understand. So here's what happened. Because he saw me spit up all the water, I was worried he was going to think I was just choking on the water.
That's what I think I initially thought.
So that's why he was patting me like this. And I didn't know how to tell him what was happening. So I don't know how, but I managed to say Heimlich.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And then once you, and I can hear that. I understood what was happening.
It obviously didn't sound like that. It sounded
That's what it sounded like, but you got the message across, which is the most important thing. So as soon as you say that, I get into position. You learn that. I've learned it a couple of times because I was a camp counselor back in the day, and so you have to learn.
Yeah.
And so, just out of straight natural reaction, I go into give you the Heimlich, and then there goes one of these little peanut butter gems. Just on the ground there.
Okay.
I mean, that's what happened. And I saved your life.
And you did save my life. You genuinely did save my life.
And we haven't got these since that day.
Well, now I don't have them. Okay. Now we can laugh about it, right? But that is so scary, because if I would have been here by myself, that is a very scary situation. People die like that all the time. So not gonna lie, it was a little bit traumatizing. And like I said, we don't get them very often. And if we do, I make sure I'm literally eating them when I'm around people.
I can't wait to have these when we watch TV later today. I'm really looking forward to it. We haven't opened them yet, so looking forward to it.
But yeah, you saved my life. I'm glad you knew what to do. I was worried for a second.
Me
you
too.
were not going to know what to do. But yeah, You saved
Those
me.
are some of the positive things that have happened since, you
That's
know.
like a negative, but also a positive. Negative because I was freaking choking.
But positive because I knew what to do.
This has happened to me one other time in my life, which I'm like, what the heck is going on with me? Because when I was younger, I went up to my room, and now I don't take, like, okay guys, I'm genuinely like, message, if you're taking a giant like pill, I think this was like a Advil or like an XL3 or something. I don't know, something for a cold, but I know you know what I'm talking about. Those dry, big, giant pills that you take sometimes when you're sick. I think I took one of those one time too when I was younger, and same thing happened. Like, it got stuck, and my brother had to come. I didn't have time like that time, but I think he
just pat it out.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of him patting it out, but also my body just like,
Get out of me.
Yeah, got it out for me. But yeah,
There's your like 101 on how not to die.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that kind of does it. It brings us up to speed.
Yeah, I think that's a good way
bit.
of doing it. Brings us up to speed of where we've been, what's been happening, and where we're at now, which is the most important thing. Where we're at now, and that's in a far better place. And you know, we have our setup back. We'll get the sign, and so now we just gotta, you know, get back into the routine of doing couples coverage again. Like I said, people have been wondering.
Yeah, I'm sure some people have been wondering, but I just didn't know they had message. That's so nice.
Yep. That's a message.
Well, thank you guys for listening and for asking, wondering maybe. I don't know if we have an exact date of when this is going up because we need to figure that out.
Yeah, we need to figure that out, but at least it's
We're also going to
here.
post our engagement photos soon, so go
true.
Keep an eye out for those. I think that's it. That's all I have to say.
No, hey, that's episode 42 of couples coverage. And we titled it, just scrolling up here on our timeline, Let's Talk About It.
Let's talk about it.
And we definitely did. We definitely did. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and hanging out with us. I know it's been a while, but it does feel good to be back just in front of the mics, have the camera, the lights all set up, and to just hang out with you to talk about, like I said, everything that we've been up to since the last time we posted. So we'll be back into the routine of things. So make sure if you haven't subscribed or like or leave a comment on this show, be much appreciated. But until next time, adios.
Bye.